Welcome in, everybody. We got Doc, we got JJ, and we got Sunday Night Football. We got the Seahawks and the Packers matching up against each other. We're going to break everything down and give you guys a parlay at the end. We've been red hot. We're going to keep it going today.
Let's do it.
Welcome in, everybody. JJ, how are we doing, man?
Just trying to get through the day, trying to get through finals. But, outside of that, it's time to hit some lottos, some parlays, something simple.
100%. This one feels pretty straightforward. I think we can start off on the Packers side. Don't target any of their receivers. They're all healthy, so who knows? Some guys might be getting 70% target or not target share, snap share. Other guys could get 40%. Outside of Romeo Doubs, who I don't consistently trust his usage, same with Jaden Reed, I don't really want to play that guessing game, especially against a Seahawks defense who they haven't been great, but they haven't been consistent in their coverages and who's playing and who's not really. So I kind of just want to avoid that mess altogether. I don't know if you're seeing the same thing I am there, JJ.
Yeah, I kind of want to avoid it. If I had to target somebody, maybe Jaden Reed, just because Seattle's a little bit better on the outside defending receivers. But they're playing a lot of man coverage. Like Christian Watson may usually, typically he'd be the guy to stand out. But again, good versus outside receiver, so doesn't really help.
Yeah. I mean, Christian Watson's usage has been great lately. A little asterisk because Romeo Doubs has been out, but when he's just seeing his normal snaps, his yards per out run is crazy. The only issue is you're kind of banking on chunk plays and deep balls, and those aren't exactly the most exciting. Or they're very exciting to bet on. They're not exciting to sweat out because if that one or two plays comes and he drops it, oh, you're in shambles the rest of the
And
game.
then you get a DPI. It's like,
Yeah,
damn.
exactly. So I'd stay away from it. As far as the run game, I mean, what is there to say other than LaFleur is gonna just give Josh Jacobs 30 touches a game until his legs fall off. I mean, good matchup, bad matchup, it does not matter. Winning, losing.
Yeah.
Josh Jacobs is going to just get fed the ball like the game script doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that's where I'm at with that. It's like, it's just that simple. They're just going to feed in the ball.
Yeah. And I feel like the Seahawks run defense has been a little better lately.
It has.
But again, if a guy's getting 25 touches and he's good at football, no matter how good or bad the defense is, he's going to break one off eventually. So
yeah. And he has pretty much every game.
Yeah.
At least one.
Exactly. So I'm staying away from all the Packers wide receivers. Josh Jacobs, just like any week. Sounds super square to say you can play him any week, but at this point, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. I'm not going to try and be a contrarian and say some bullshit just to have a hot take. So we can just get over to the Seahawks side. Things get a little more interesting there because JSN is taking over, which is weird because his routes aren't that different. His ADOT's still relatively low. His role is still the same, but for whatever reason, he's just starting to dominate all the usage in that offense. His usage is going up. DK Metcalf is going down, and Tyler Lockett's hasn't been great all season. Do you have any notes as to why that is, JJ?
I do not, but I mean, just watching the film, watching all the different takes, this offense needs to go through him, especially at least next year for sure. Looking at long term, the whole passing offense needs to go through him. He is their future. I don't know what they're going to do with DK, but DK is kind of phased out a little bit. He's taking a back seat. You can kind of see it with his demeanor as well when he's on the field. But I mean, numbers wise for this game's I can't really tell you. But I mean, we're going to be seeing a lot of cover 3, which I know he's very good at taking advantage of finding the holes in the zone. So it should be a solid spot for him.
And I do feel like some of it is just when you're a team like the Seahawks who have a pass rate over expected like they do, and the time of possession that they do, you can't just keep relying on deep shots, which is what they were doing through the first half of the season. Because if you're going to get so many quick, it'll work some drives. You get some explosive plays that keep you in it. But at the same time, if you get so many 3 and outs leading up to that big play, your defense is going to be gassed. They're not going to be able to get to the fourth quarter, and it's setting the whole team up for failure. So if you're going to be a high passing rate team, you have to work way more on those underneath throws. And I think they're starting to realize that, and that's why JSN's usage is going up. And for what it's worth, this is another better matchup for him because, like you said, Green Bay is worse in the slot, but at the same time, they're also the fourth best team according to DVOA against the deep ball, which isn't good for DK Metcalf. So at that point, we're looking at Fant, Lockett, or JSN. JSN's clearly been the one dominating the usage over Tyler Lockett, so there's that. But I also think Noah Fant's in a good spot. I mean, the Packers are allowing what? Let me see. The third highest targets to tight ends per game, and looks like the seventh most yards per game to tight ends. So, I mean, when you look at the game logs, tight ends have just been demolishing them. So clearly working the inside of the field against the Packers has been the weakness that teams have been able to exploit in the passing game.
Yeah, I'm thinking tight ends and running back checkdowns, maybe some slot targets to JSN would be the way I would go here.
Speaking of running backs, as of 5 minutes before recording this, Kenneth Walker was ruled out. We didn't think he was going to play anyways. So it's looked like another Zach Charbonnet week. He had a huge week last week. Do you think he's going to be able to do it again against this Packers D or no?
It's going to be a little tough, but I think if he's getting that usage, I don't think he should have a problem hitting his lines right now.
Yeah.
I think last time we checked, it was at 65.5, like just before recording, rushing yards, and then 27.5 receiving yards. Like, probably go like his rushing plus receiving. If he's able to get 18 plus carries, he's definitely get like probably 4 targets at least as well, just based off the matchup alone.
Yeah, 100%. Seattle loves to run, in the outside zone scheme, which if you look at yards per carry, the Packers are solid against, but the Packers don't have one of the lowest stuff rates in the NFL. They just don't allow explosive plays. So kind of when I see that, I'm thinking they're not getting into down and distance scenarios where teams can't run against them. So the attempts should continue to be there. 2nd and 8 and then 3rd and 5 is fine. They're going to keep running the ball if they can get those. But if you get stuffed and now you're looking at 2nd and 12, obviously you can't run the ball. If that happens a few times, you're going to lean away from the run going deeper into the game. But as long as you can carve out 2, 3, 4 yards every play, even if you don't get that explosive run, the run game will still have a role in that offense. So as long as Green Bay still can't stuff them, Sharp should be getting good usage in the running game as well. Think that's everything that I got, though.
Parlay time.
Parlay time. For those who haven't been watching the last few videos, even though we've been red hot, you should be watching. This is how we've been doing it. We are finding a winner on the spread, a touchdown score, and a player prop. That method has been absolutely printing for us. Until Thursday, we're just going to ignore that absolute shit show of a game. Yeah. Nobody enjoyed that. But today, we're going back to it. And for the touchdown score, we're going to start off with Jackson Smith and Jigba. We've been talking about how he's just been eating lately. And this is a great matchup for him because while the Packers are one of the 10 highest teams in percentage of touchdowns that are passing touchdowns, you funnel that into the red zone and where the targets go, and it's mainly to the slot, which obviously is Jackson Smith and Jigba. And him and Kenneth Walker actually lead the team in red zone usage, both or in the passing game specifically. Yes, Kenneth Walker, the running back, but Kenneth Walker's not there, so more of that should be funneled to JSN in a positive matchup. Plus 190 was absolutely ridiculous odds for him to get a touchdown. The next leg is the spread bet. We're going Green Bay Packers minus 2.5. It's based on a system play you can see on the screen. But at the same time, I mean, they're just fighting for so much more. And the Packers have been their own worst enemy throughout the season. Jordan Love, senseless turnovers in the red zone. And, I mean, do you think the Seahawks can do that as well? I don't. I think they'll keep it interesting. But I think 3 points for the Packers is something that they should be able to cover pretty confidently. And lastly, we're going Noah Fant over 2.5 receptions. Like we said, tight ends have just been demolishing them this season, especially as of late. And he's had 4 or more targets in his last 5 games. He's hit 3 receptions every game this season except for 3. 2 of those 3 were in the first 2 weeks, and the third one was against Detroit, who is one of the best tight end defenses in the NFL. So 3 receptions should be light work here in a positive matchup. So all that together is plus 844 on FanDuel. We threw a unit on it, and they're also doing a profit boost. But we use a profit boost on the lotto play because it's only a $10 max. And we did JSN, still for him to get a touchdown. Geno Smith, 2 passing touchdowns. Noah Fant, 5 receptions. and Packers -6.5 spread. Lock those two in. Let's have a great fucking night. JJ, I'm so excited to sweat this out with you and everybody else. Otherwise, good
I'm here
luck tonight,
for it.
everybody. Like, subscribe, and we'll see you soon.